Before we talk about one of the most important tools in building a relationship, let's review what I'm wearing. Nice blue sweatshirt. I love this color. It's very electric. But then I'm wearing blue sweats. And so I just look like a naked Smurf. If I had white shorts, I would be Korean Smurf, which is what I should probably be for Halloween, since Halloween's coming up. All right, guys, let's talk about relationships. This is one of the greatest. First of all, I think that if you choose to be in a relationship, you should be certified. Now listen, like, if you wanna be a personal trainer, if you wanna be a therapist, if you wanna be a nutritionist, a doctor, a dentist, whatever, you go through an extensive education and a certification process, correct? Well, your partner, the person that you choose to love, has more impact, right? Has more access to damaging you than any person that is going to help you with a certification. I don't know why I'm lisping. After like 43, I'm all fucked up right here. Like, not only my face, but the words that come out, it's crazy. I have lisps, I can't spoke anymore. My English is all fucked up. Anyway, so I think that before we jump into a relationship, we should be certified too. Like, think about this, really. And once you're certified, then you could start dating, and then, you know, you could choose to love someone and build something. Now, if you don't have the certification, then you could fuck around, right? But without the certification, there's no relationship. So, like, if you fall in love because you're fucking around and you catch feelings, without this, it's illegal to love someone without this relationship certification. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Wouldn't that be amazing? I would be out of work. There would be no relationship coaches. All right, so fighting, okay? Most people don't know how to fight. And here's the thing about fighting. When you fight unfair, because it's not about how many times do you fight. You're gonna have fights, right? Like I have food in my mouth. I'm gonna have food in my mouth. That's just it. It's gonna happen. I just ate a giant bag of chips. You're gonna fight no matter what, right? It's not about how many times you fight. It's about how you fight. Fighting can actually bring people closer together, because if you fight fair and you do it right, you are actually being vulnerable. And by doing so, it's the exercise, vulnerability, that actually produces glue, that builds trust, that allows you to live inside out instead of outside in, right? I'm talking a lot with my hands today. I'm sorry if that's annoying. Put them behind my back. So if you fight fair, you have to be vulnerable to fight fair, right? You have to be authentic and you have to show yourself. And that exercise, humanizing yourself, is what brings people close together. If you fight unfair, you're not being vulnerable, and you're probably doing these things. And ask yourself this when you fight, or is your partner doing these things? Character assassination, right? Are they calling you a fucking idiot, or anything where they are assassinating your character? It's irreversible, you know? It's seriously like, you could be joking, you could come back and say, you know what, I said that in the heat of the moment and whatever. That shit does damage, right? Stonewalling, right? Not showing any emotion, pulling from logic, turning into a lawyer and suddenly it's a court case. Anything where you are not humanizing yourself, that's not gonna work, right? You're now distancing. Holding grudges. One of the most valuable sentences that works for me and that I want to give to you guys may have heard it before if you listen to my podcast, try to understand before trying to be understood. It's a long sentence, but it's really powerful. Think about if you actually did that. Try to understand the person. Shut the fuck up, listen, be empathetic. What are they trying to say? Not only in their words, but in their energy. You obviously know their story, so consider that, what they're struggling with, what's happening underneath. God, now I'm burping. Sorry. I'm a mess tonight, guys. It's okay. I'm gonna get through this. We're gonna do this together. Once you try to understand, right? And that's where you leave the room. Leave the room. Don't ever leave the room. Leave the door open for compassion, empathy, right? Then you try to be understood, right? Then you say your point, and you don't say it with an iron fist. You don't demand things or ultimatums. You express how you feel. So, I rarely argue. I know it sounds weird. It doesn't mean that I don't state my opinion. I don't engage in arguments where it gets heated and people are throwing chairs and shit and it becomes Telemundo, all right? I tell you how I feel. I try to understand you. We keep it conversational and we go to feeling. So address the person's feeling, right? Not so much what they are saying, because that's on a logical level and that's going to get very slippery and it's going to be two people pulling on a tug of war rope. So if you address the hurt or the bothering or the distance or what's happening they're feeling, then people are being heard, okay? It's not just about listening to words. So, you can fight without fighting. And this is one of the greatest tools in relationships, is if you learn how to fight in a way that produces trust and glue, by showing yourself and proving to your partner that you are providing a safe space. That is how you build something. By fighting unfair, enough of those fights, and people are going to be walking out, checking out, they're going to be drifting. So, all right, ask yourself if you're fighting fair. Ask yourself if your partner is fighting fair. If your partner is not fighting fair, pass along this video maybe. Or show it to anyone you think needs to hear it.